This is the HSS Interactive Network. Welcome to this edition of Improvement in Action. I'm your host, Phil Nielsen. HSS uses a systematic approach to improve processes. The DMATIC model helps us improve quickly and with a high level of confidence. This podcast focuses on the measure step of the DMATIC improvement model. Before we dig too deeply, it will be helpful to see the DMATIC model in its expanded version. Before we dig too deeply, it will be helpful to see the DMATIC model in its expanded version. The basic building blocks start with define, advance to measure, move to analyze, travel to improve, and end at control. The gap between analyze and improve allows us to reduce mistakes and confirm we have a tested improvement plan before we start making changes. The test step fills this gap. The results of the test program are compared with the desired results of the improvement effort. If the results are not the best we think we can get, we loop back to define and try again. When the test results meet our expectations, then we move to improve and actually change the process. Now let's explore what is meant by measure. It includes key aspects of the current process, which require us to think hard and dig deeply. Starting with a broad view, the measure step includes developing a complete picture of the process. Identifying the beginning, the end, and the steps in between sets the boundaries for all other measurements we might need. The most common way to measure the entire process is through a map or diagram. Our first diagram should be simple and represent a high-level view, sometimes referred to as the bird's eye view. At most, there should be 9 steps. To identify measures that are more specific, we can always expand a part of the bird's eye view and add details. The bird's eye view and all the more detailed views are known as process maps or flow diagrams. Another visual way to measure a process is to track how the work or the employees travel while working. The process map or flow diagram does not usually represent actual work movement. A spaghetti diagram represents the physical movement of people, products, or equipment and can often reveal wasted time and motion. The process map and spaghetti diagrams often don't really tell us all we need to know. Usually, we need actual numbers to evaluate the performance of the process. One of the most important number measures is time. Time can be used in 2 distinct ways. First, how long does it take to perform a task? If we apply a stopwatch to the printer, we will soon learn that it takes between 5 and 10 seconds to print the first page of a report. If we measure enough, we can also determine the most common wait time is 6 seconds. Secondly, how many tasks can be performed in a set amount of time? New Balance Shoe Company used this measure to reduce the time it took to make a pair of shoes from 9 days to 8 to 12 hours. Depending on the process, there could be many other measures. In the security division of HSS, how well a uniform fits is critical to the appearance of an officer. The fit is measured in standard sizes such as 38 inches by 32 inches for trousers. In the medical equipment management division, the measure is often expressed in microns or amps. The measures we choose must tell an important piece of the story about the process. Usually one measure will not be able to do that. So we identify several measures that, when taken together, give us a solid understanding of what is working and what is not. The measures of the current process may not be valid after we make improvements. New Balance Shoe Company used a calendar before applying lean thinking tools and now uses a clock. In some steps, they even had to use a stopwatch. When the process changes, the measures must change or be replaced. In either case, measurement is a critical step in the HSS improvement cycle called DMATIC. Before we go, please take a moment and share your experiences with me. If you are an HSS leader, click on the DMATIC-Measure line in the discussion board on the Performance Improvement landing page to post your comments. Or you can send me an email message at the address on the screen. Well, that's it for this edition of Improvement in Action. Thanks for joining me, and goodbye until next time.